And we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on episode 9 of Headlocks and Handoffs. Thank you for all of our viewers on Sunday's live show. It was through Facebook. We had some technical difficulties, but it all worked out in the end. We got it done. We had some guests on. We had wrestlers. We had fans. We had a little bit of everything. Today, we have a lot to talk about as well. We're having a whole big Royal Rumble recap. Of course, we'll have our day in wrestling history and then maybe some other fun tidbits for you. So on to my amazing co-host, Anthony, who is right there. He's on my right. Are you on my right?
No, I'm in front of you.
Oh, that's true, but like on the screen.
I don't know if you guys can see, but we have all this new equipment, and I should thank Chris for this because this was a very nice surprise. Coming in on Sunday. So when we did the live show, it kind of looked more professional. So some of you also might be like thinking why this is episode 9 and not Sunday's show.
I was thinking that too. Can you explain for me again?
Well, if we made Sunday episode 9, then today would be episode 10, which would kind of throw off the week. So we want to keep the even numbers toward the end of the week and the odd numbers of the beginning.
You said 2 minutes ago that Sunday didn't count because it was a live show and it was its own special thing.
Well, yeah.
So why are you changing the answer now?
Why would I change it? You said it already.
Yeah, you got to show it.
Oh, yeah.
Part of our sponsor for today.
Yeah. Bubble tea. Unfortunately, we didn't follow the instructions on the can. So all the tapioca pearls are all the way in the bottom.
We did not shake well.
So we're just drinking the tea, and then we're going to get the bubbles at the end.
Hopefully. We'll see if there's even any bubbles on the bottom.
But we do have a lot to cover.
Let's get into it.
We are going to start like we always do with our this time in WWE history on this day. 23 years ago, February 2nd, 1998, is when DX delivered their famous State of the Union address. And this was back when WWE wasn't really PG. So it was a little bit, I'll let Chris explain this because he was going over before, and he's a big Shawn Michaels fan, so I figure you would like to explain this.
Right. So this was the meeting. It was HBK at the podium. Triple H was behind him, and then China was behind both of them also, right next to Triple H. And they were talking about how they can't curse anymore with the new guidelines. And when they say that, Triple H and HBK go back and forth cursing like, "Oh shoot, oh damn, oh you can't say, oh damn, oh." They're just cursing back and forth, even though they just said we can't. They are doing a little bit of a, I guess, Bill Clinton reference as one of their jokes as well. Definitely check it out. It is pretty hilarious, and at that time, pretty out there too. Oh, yeah. And I think DX was always pushing the envelope with different things like that of what to say or do or what they shouldn't be saying or doing. And they always made things very entertaining.
But again, that like brings up like how great wrestling was then, because you can get away with all this stuff and not think twice about it. You have to really think about what you're doing now because your audience is a little different now. And the way things are nowadays, you can't say certain things that you could say 20 years ago. But that's what makes that product so good then. And I think we talked about in the live shows that we haven't really watched too much of the product today. It's been more just us watching all the old stuff when we were growing up because the product was better then. You know,
we enjoyed it more there too.
Absolutely.
We feel there was a lot more of the characters there, where now it's kind of people with like a regular name or first and last name as they go out and wrestle. And I was always big on the actual characters.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those legends came out of that time frame. Not that there's any good wrestlers now, but just when we get back to our subject of the Rumble from Sunday, and then we kind of go over a couple of things, you'll kind of see what we're talking about. And it's just so much more enjoyable then. And I know you and I skipped a bunch of years after and then kind of picked it back up like 10 years ago, maybe a little longer than that, but got the tail end of all these other wrestlers that we don't know too much about that we'll kind of go over today. But I think what we'll start off with is obviously the Rumble. And a lot of cool stuff happened Sunday. not just in the Rumble itself, but just things that were kind of like moving around during the course of the pay-per-view. One of the things I thought was pretty cool that we kind of saw was the New Day paying tribute to Brody Lee, or the late Brody Lee, who just passed away a little less than a month ago. And he was apparently a big favorite among any wrestler in any circuit or any corporation or business they're in. So New Day had pretty much like a cartoon picture of on their tights, kind of paying tribute to him. So I thought that was pretty cool last night. But we watched Brody Lee as a wrestler in WWE, and then going over to AEW, changing his character so many times, but was overall probably a great wrestler, and just probably would have been one of the greats as his career went on. It was just very tragic that it ended so early, and we got to see him a little bit, watch him at a couple of WrestleManias. He had a couple of good Rumbles, some weird tag teams, weird factions. But I saw he did pretty well in AEW for what it was, and was kind of looking forward to see where it would go from there.
I know when he was out there, he was also making a new kind of cult following of a whole group out there.
Yeah.
So they're still doing well, though, and I can see them still continue to do big things. So
yeah, that was pretty cool. But I know a lot of wrestlers been doing that, and they continue to do that, which is pretty cool. It just shows how much of an impact that guy made and how much everyone loved him. Everyone always said something great about him. He was always very positive. So I thought that was pretty cool for the New Day to do something like that. But let's dive into the Rumble. Let's start with the Women's Rumble, because we thought the Women's Rumble was a little different. And obviously, watching the Rumble from a virtual standpoint is definitely something very different, and not the best situation, but they still put on a good show, I thought. Not the best, but definitely for what it was a pretty good show.
I just want to say that we might not get a lot of views or subscribers here, but the people that are on top are watching our program here. The title of Headlocks and Handoffs has to do with wrestling and running. The woman who won the Rumble was a college athlete, a hurdler, a sprinter. Someone's watching our show and they say, hey, I like that idea. Bianca's going to win it. That's it. So we've caught that attention. High five.
Good job.
There we go.
That wasn't a virtual high five. That was an actual high five.
That's actually right here. Look. That's so creepy. But yes, I did think that it was pretty cool that, we kind of just started this about a month ago, and it's already, taken off. People out there are taking notice.
I know. I have to check our YouTube account. I'm pretty sure we got a couple more subscribers after the weekend. I hope. But so Bianca Belair won the Women's Rumble, coming in at number 3, which again is very hard to do. But she lasted and broke the women's original record for lasting the longest in the ring, which was held by Natalya with 56 minutes and 1 second. And then Bianca Belair did it in 56 minutes and 49 seconds. And which was pretty cool, is because the last 2 wrestlers in that Rumble were, pretty much NXT superstars. One still being one, and then one now currently on the main roster, which I thought was cool, because I think that just shows what the talent's like in NXT and how much the WWE believes in that NXT talent. And she put on a great show. She did a great job doing it.
No, they definitely did. I think NXT is such a strong, almost company on its own. I feel like it's not even like a brand. It's almost their own place.
Yeah.
Because they have so much amazing talent coming from there. It's impressive to watch.
Is it impressive that I'm trying to shake up the tapioca pearls in my bubble tea?
It's not going to work. Just stop.
I got one. It's exciting.
Oh, boy.
And besides that, I mean, we don't know who Bianca Belair is going to really challenge for. It'll be kind of interesting to see over the next couple of weeks who she's going to challenge. And what was another cool thing about last night was that another historical event was going to happen if Charlotte Flair won, because she won last year. And then if she won this year, she would have been the only woman to win back-to-back Rumbles, which would have been pretty cool. But I think Charlotte should probably take a step back from being in that main event and let all these other talents go. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's where WWE is going with that.
But I know we were kind of saying before, I feel like she's been the major name for the women's side for the past couple of years at WrestleMania. Regardless of who the champ is, she's the one that has like that star power and that star name. So right now with her dad dating the woman's right. I just forgot her name. Lacey Evans, yeah.
Okay.
Lacey Evans. That's probably going to be the WrestleMania match or sometime before that.
Probably.
So I feel like her not winning, she'll still have that match against Lacey and, they fight over her dad.
That's weird.
Yes, it is.
But you like you said, like Charlotte been like the face since WrestleMania 32 when they switched the women's the Divas Championship over to back to the Women's Championship. So she's been literally in almost every single championship match at WrestleMania since then. It's cool. She's great. She's very talented, but it's time for all these NXT athletes to just come up and make a name for themselves, which they're doing right now. I think they had a pretty strong showing in that Rumble last night.
Definitely.
Was it last night?
2 nights ago.
I forgot.
Because it's Tuesday now. Depending on when this goes up.
Wait, is it?
It is Tuesday.
My computer says Tuesday. Okay.
I'm glad you just asked your computer.
Oh.
Hey, computer, what day is it? It is Tuesday. So on another side note, last night, Bianca had 4 eliminations, and she had 8 last year. So she has a lot of eliminations in her years in the Rumble, one of the most. Not the most, but one of.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that. Where did you find that?
Our statistician. We now have someone that works for us for stats.
Oh, that our statistician Layla, right?
Yeah.
She's good.
She's good. She's been doing really well.
So she has
12 total.
She has
the second most. Shayna Baszler has 14 as the most.
How many did she have last Sunday night?
Thank you for catching that. Shayna?
Great segue.
Shayna had 8. No. Shayna had 7. So her and Rhea Ripley both had 7.
Wow.
But in 2020, Shayna and Bianca both had 8. Yeah, pretty dominated.
4th year for the Women's Rumble, right?
Correct. We spoke about that before. Now, do you remember who won?
In the order again?
Rumble?
All right.
Yeah, same 4.
So we got Asuka, Becky, Charlotte, and then Bianca Belair.
You got it. Good.
Cheers.
Cheers. To the tapioca pearls.
Gotta spin it out a little bit.
Oh, don't have mine yet. They'll be here.
I'm so good at this. Anyway.
What else from the Women's Rumble?
So.
Anything else notable that happened worth bringing up?
I mean, like I said, there was a couple of cool returns. Nothing really that stands out. I think the men's had a much different or much more impactful Rumble returns. And we'll go over that. Do you have anything to kind of add on that?
No, I think like you were saying though, being a virtual Rumble, the new people that come back, the previous superstars, it takes a lot away from it.
Right, and especially the winners too. Especially someone like Bianca Belair, who you saw was so emotional, crying, and you're not getting that live crowd emotional feel like that, like Drew McIntyre had last year. So I mean, that's something that we're robbed of. But I mean, again, that's not their fault. But hopefully the Rumble will be different. I am hearing that they're not going to make it a 2-day WrestleMania this year. They're going to try and keep it to 1 again this time, and hopefully have fans in the stands. So
I think it's tough. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but with Mania on 2 nights,
getting off topic?
No, never. We're very much straight on the point all the time.
Yeah.
But with Mania on 2 nights, I like the idea because I think having 2, 3, or 4-hour nights is easier than an 8-hour day. Because the last couple of years, I feel like it was getting to be super, super long by the time, by 9 o'clock at night, it's so much wrestling and you're getting tired just sitting and watching.
Yeah, but I feel like because they put all these WrestleManias in these huge venues, they don't want to make it like a simple 3-hour event.
Yes.
Everybody's coming from all over, not really to just see 3 hours. I want to see more. I get it too. There are some years where you're just like, my God, we've been sitting here for like 6 hours and there's still 2 more matches to go.
Yeah.
And like there's a performance and this and like, and then we watch old WrestleManias and they're like 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours. It's like watching a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
You know, but I get it, but I would rather just see it one night. I think you think they would do like a live 2-night event, I don't know. That seems like a little much. Think about how much those people have to clean the stadium in between.
But I feel like I don't know if it'd be 2 different days for people to get tickets. Like that's the part that I think it would be up in the air. You know, you have day 1 or I have day 2. You get both of them.
Well, you go back to what was that, WrestleMania 2?
That was at 3 different places.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, that was a cool concept.
Nassau Coliseum, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers to Nassau Coliseum.
To Nassau Coliseum.
Still here, but not really. Forever remembered.
To the great tailgates.
All right. Let's get into the men's now.
Yeah. A lot of cool stuff in that one. You can start with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I get started.
Well, I started the women, so I figure you started the men's.
All right. So I liked how Edge and Orton were the first 2. We know they've been feuding for a while. I think they had the world's best match or world's greatest match last year. Sometime, I forget which month it was. I feel like during the summer, maybe July-ish.
Was it the Royal Rumble?
No,
it was the pay-per-view after the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yes.
So February?
February.
Yeah.
No, after WrestleMania.
Oh, you said after the Royal Rumble.
They fought after the Royal Rumble, but after that WrestleMania, one more. How come you can't listen to me?
So May, June, July, something like that. Anyhow, I thought that was pretty cool, starting them both out together. We know that they have a huge feud between them over many years in the company, so it's pretty cool just to get everyone started with that. That I liked a lot. Now, I will say on Orton's part, when he was hurt in the match, as we were all sitting here watching, we knew he was going to come back at the end, and we even thought that's how he was going to win it. So the fact that Edge won it instead of Orton was pretty cool, and almost didn't really see it coming.
Yeah, you would expect someone like a Hall of Famer and someone who's just fought through all these really terrible injuries and then coming back and wrestling after 9 years of just not doing anything like physical except for like acting and stuff like that, and just coming back and making an impact like he did last year. Coming back, wrestling a couple of good matches during the year, and then coming back and winning it again 11 years to the day he won his first one. So, but I mean, he did it from number 1, and I think we talked about he's the 3rd person to do it from number 1.
British Bulldog did it first.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, I know. But I think too, where we kind of seen in front of a live audience last year when he came back, he had fireworks as like number 14 or 16. I forget which number he had last year, but he was midway through like the card as far as the Rumble went. And top 2 guys might get fireworks. He had the whole fireworks, everything. It was pretty special.
And that's what makes those so special, especially those guys coming back, like the big names like that. Like when they come back, it's so awesome, but we like the whole crowd scene and the fireworks. It just makes it so much more special, like you said. You know, the other thing I didn't really like was that Edge probably would have broken the amount of time that he spent in the Rumble, like that record. And because it was 90 seconds between everybody last night, Sunday night. I'm getting my days confused still.
That's all right.
He only lasted 58 minutes and 30 seconds, which is still awesome, but he would have probably broken the record if this was the regular every 2 minutes.
So it is funny you bring that up because another different statistician just showed me that Edge and Orton were both in for 60 minutes, 32 seconds. Regardless of if it was 2 minutes in between instead of 90 seconds, he would have been about another 14 minutes in there. So it is.
Layla to give you that?
Yeah, she just whispered.
No, she's been on the ball.
She's good. She's get a raise too. She's pooped out from all that work. But it is funny also, on some years they do 90 seconds, some years they do 2 minutes. I never really know exactly why. I mean, it might have honestly been with Edge and Orton starting, another 15 minutes out there. Maybe they felt that they wouldn't be able to handle it. I don't know.
You're probably right, but if there was a live crowd, would they have made it the next 15 minutes?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what makes it so much different, because you feed off the adrenaline from the crowd,
Completely.
and then when you're feeding off of TV monitors and the handful of people around the ring. So I mean, but it's still pretty impressive. But what I thought was the coolest thing I saw on Sunday was the reuniting Christian and Edge again, because you and I, like you said, growing up and watching these guys from being in the Brood and then kind of separating themselves and having their own thing, and then having their tag team, just being together again and watching those two just be in the ring together now I was so happy. I was so just overwhelmed with just watching something that we grew up with, and then they're still doing it. And then you can even see in their eyes too when they got in the ring together, like, wow, we haven't done this in like 11 years or whatever, and
even longer. I think
it's just, these guys defined tag team wrestling and the ladder match and with the Hardys and the Dudleys, and then watching them still now, they look old, but they're still in great shape.
They're still in great
and
shape.
Still doing really well.
Yes.
I don't know how much more Christian's got left in him. I mean, I'm sure Edge has a little bit more left in him, but I don't know how much Christian has left. But he looked good.
He did.
And they both made the final four, and I was like, wow, could it come down to Christian and Edge the final two? Like,
and that's what we're thinking of. We're like, this could almost be any of them. Any one of these guys could make a,
And I would have been okay with that. I'm a big Christian fan. I love Christian.
I know.
And I know there's not a lot of following for him, I think, but I was always a Christian fan. I loved him.
So as we're even talking about him for a quick moment, I thought it was pretty interesting how Edge, being the winner, he only eliminated 3 people in the whole match.
That's crazy.
That's a cool fact we should remember for next year's Royal Rumble trivia.
Write that down.
So take a guess. Who are the other 2 people that he eliminated?
So obviously it was Rollins.
Yes. Sorry.
How else would he have won? It was Rollins and Orton.
Okay. And
you say 2 people?
3 people.
Oh, I thought you said 2 people. And
it's a team effort.
With
Rollins and Christian.
Right.
He's a really big dude.
It wasn't Bobby Lashley. Braun Strowman.
Yep, Strowman. Yeah. You got it. So more like 2.5 eliminations. Just saying.
I thought you said 2.
That's all right.
And then you kept staring at me like I was wrong or something.
Because we know he got rid of Orton, so maybe 2 others after Orton.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe someone's not listening.
Me?
Me.
Oh, you. Yeah. So I know we were talking earlier, 11 years ago to the date is when Edge last won the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And we went to look that one up again. So it was 2010. This one I remember extremely well because this was when Shawn Michaels was talking about going back into the Rumble, winning, having his rematch against Undertaker, and winning the belt. And this was, we looked at it before. He was eliminated by Batista. He was having this great match, a great Rumble. He got eliminated, and it was all like that pure emotion from him. You could see, and I said to you, like, I felt the pain.
Yeah.
He tossed one ref, jumped in the ring, super kicked another ref, and you could just tell he was so distraught.
It was pretty hard to watch if you're an HBK fan, which I know you are. It was very hard to watch him just be eliminated because you knew, like, he's coming to the tail end of his career. You know, he wasn't really feuding with The Undertaker as much yet, but he wanted that last shot at the title. And but obviously he didn't get it. But we were discussing, like, that Rumble was now 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the card for that Rumble was just crazy. Like, just such a difference of what it was now, obviously. I mean, it's 11 years. But if you look back, Christian was in the ECW championship match against Ezekiel Jackson. And you said that Edge won, Christian won the ECW belt that night.
Yes. What's really funny, because when you look 11 years back, a lot of the same people were still there.
Yep.
So, like, that one match, The Miz defeated MVP.
Both guys are still around.
Mm-hmm. So, and The Miz was the U.S. champ back then.
Yep.
For the WWE Championship, it was Sheamus beating Randy Orton.
And this was early in Sheamus's career. And Sheamus captured the belt pretty quick in his careers. I don't know how many times he's won the title now, but I mean, he won it pretty quick, debuting on in WWE.
For the women's, they had the women's championship where Mickie James looks like basically just a squash match. It was 20 seconds over Michelle McCool. But I think after Undertaker saw that he kind of defeated Rey Mysterio, he threw him around a lot. After that match, Undertaker kept his belt for the heavyweight championship.
Right.
And then went right into the men's rumble after that.
Yeah.
So it was 7 matches total, including the rumble, which is, I feel like, a small card, but a lot of guys get out there in the rumble.
2 hours and 39 minutes was the rumble that year.
That's
the whole paper,
like nothing.
The whole card. I know.
The rumble now is 2 hours alone. But this was also the Royal Rumble where CM Punk was in there. He had number 3. He was getting rid of guys left and right in the beginning, and he was getting on the microphone and just basically doing a promo every time. So we've seen in the past, Stone Cold would get rid of guys and sit there looking at his wrist, talking about, like, next guy come in, what's the time at? Right. And Punk got a microphone and would just basically preach. And everyone that came in, it was like, no, you be part of my society. You do this, you do that, you be one of us. And then little by little, it didn't really work out anymore.
I mean, that was still cool because that was nice up and coming for Punk. And you just watch him transition from when he started as a straight edge society and then becoming the biggest superstar on the planet, And that was the year Beth Phoenix entered the Royal Rumble and eliminated the Greek Khali by giving a little makeout session and, pulling that guy outside of the ring.
That's pretty impressive.
Were you just biting your lip?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah. The Great Khali.
I'm biting my lip for this delicious bubble tea, brown sugar.
Yummy. Yeah. Easy on those. Easy on the pearls. Uh-oh. But yeah, so we're just kind of seeing 11 years ago, a lot of the same guys were out there, but it was just such a different time where you have guys in the beginning of their career. Some people like HBK was getting towards the end of their career.
Yep.
But just overall, like a lot of the same guys out there, and just pretty cool though.
So the 2010, obviously we were talking about, was when Edge won it the last time and was his first time. And he came in at number 29 that year. And what was big about that was that it was his big return. So Edge was hurt and was supposed to be out for 14 months, but ended up coming back in 8. And then just came in and pretty much just cleared house. And then it got into the final 4, obviously, which was Batista, Michaels, Cena, and Edge. Which again, Batista's not around anymore. He's making movies. John Cena is making movies. Shawn Michaels is
making movies, maybe.
And Edge is back, and you can see the big difference between what he looked like then and what he looked like now. He's in much better shape now.
I think he, like you said, came back very quickly. Maybe not in the shape that he was looking for, but now, hey, he's in awesome shape. So.
Oh yeah. So that should make for a pretty good WrestleMania. Again, hoping for a live one, which would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think when Edge was away for so long, Jericho hurt him. I don't remember with what or what happened with them, but I know they had the big feud. And then at the next pay-per-view back then, Jericho won the belt from the Elimination Chamber. They had their feud.
Yep. That was a great WrestleMania, too. That was a great match. So, and that was 26.
It was 2011.
I want to say 26 in Arizona.
You're probably right.
Listen, you don't even have to look it up. I know, right? I'm like British Bulldog, right?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
I'm like Providence, Rhode Island, right?
Not yet. Just ask Ring or Jimmy. They'll know. They'll be our fact search guys.
Yeah.
Like, hey, did this happen that year? Yeah. They did do an awesome job with their trivia on this past Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It was 26, yes. That's why it's good.
I know. What? You have that look on your face?
Yes, because there was a 26-man battle royal at that WrestleMania.
26?
Battle royal.
What? 26? Just because of WrestleMania 26?
I guess so.
I mean, that's the only thing that would make sense, right?
The only thing that would make sense. So I'm looking at this card. This is crazy to see.
Go for it.
Okay, so
while I'm eating my pearls.
Go ahead, eat the pearls. 26-man battle royal. Take a wild guess who won. You're wrong. Yoshitatsu won it.
What?
Yoshitatsu won by eliminating Zack Ryder.
Ah, poor Zack.
That hits close to home. So Yoshitatsu wins that. The second match, it was Shomiz. Who's part of that team?
It was, let me see.
The British Bulldog and...
No, it wasn't them. I know that. It was... Are
you being serious?
Big Show and The Miz?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Layla!
So, Miz and Big Show, they defeated John Morrison and R-Truth.
Oh, wow.
So how crazy is that? Now, like, it's The Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho, ho.
If my memory serves me correct, there's a current WWE champion that wrestled at WrestleMania as well.
Oh, we're getting it. It's only the second match.
Okay,
let's go. This was about a 3.5 minute match.
The Battle Royal?
No, the tag team.
Okay.
The other one was 2.5. No, it was 8.5.
Everybody jump out of the ring at the same time.
Yeah. The third match, it was Orton defeating Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. Mm-hmm. That was a cool triple threat.
Yeah.
Just I know they had their little faction back then, and they were trying to see who was the strongest one, basically.
What do they call it?
I'm keeping Evolution, but it was Legacy.
Legacy. No, it wasn't Legacy. Was it Legacy?
Fact check. Layla. What's the deal with that faction?
Yeah, get on the computer, please.
So anyhow, as you're looking that one up, it was Legacy.
I just got to Google, man.
That's all right. So you had Swagger. He won the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, I remember
beating that. Christian, Ziggler, Drew McIntyre.
Wait. Was MVP in that?
Yes.
Shelton Benjamin?
Yes.
Shocker, because they're in every one of them.
Yeah, you're right. Also, Kofi Kingston, Matt Hardy, Evan Bourne, and a Big Red Machine.
Wow.
Kane. Triple H defeated Sheamus. Mysterio beat CM Punk. This was the Bret Hart, Mr. McMahon match.
Right. When all the Hart Foundation, like all his family came out with Mr. McMahon, and Bret's like, no, man, this is family first.
So I remember watching that and thinking like, okay, this should have ended like 10 minutes ago. Because I was like, okay, we get the point. They're all just like beating up Vince McMahon. Okay, it's a little like too much now. Take a guess, how long was the actual match?
I want to say 17 minutes.
Not that long.
Really? 13.
11:09.
Ah.
Yeah, but still way too long. Looks like you're done with that. And then, of course, Jericho defeated Edge. Cena beat Batista, and Undertaker beat Shawn Michaels, and he retired and no longer wrestled.
I'm almost certain that you skipped the question I asked you.
Which current WWE champ was in there? We said McIntyre.
Did you say McIntyre?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you say his name at all.
Oh, he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Okay. But I didn't hear you
say said Swagger beat Christian, Ziggler, McIntyre. And then you said something else. You're like, was that Shelton Benjamin?
Did you say McIntyre?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
It's all right. So Drew McIntyre, and then you had MVP and Shelton Benjamin in the ladder match too.
Oh yeah, I said they were in there, right?
Yeah.
Was Drew McIntyre in that one?
No, not this year.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Hey, you can't say that.
Oh God. How's that? All right. So we've kind of been going all around, which is what we usually do anyhow.
Right.
But it's all good.
I guess one of the couple of things we can finish up with is a couple of a cool performance from a certain wrestler that performed Sunday, and then a cool return, but doesn't really do much for us because we don't know much about him. So Carlito made a return to WWE, and it was rumored for months that he was going to come back, and I wasn't too excited for it because I don't know a lot about him.
The guy eats apples?
Well, yeah. Besides that,
and he spits in your face
if you're not cool, right?
Yeah.
All right. That guy.
He's got cool theme music.
He does. But again, like I didn't know anything about him. I wasn't really watching when he was there, so I wasn't that excited for it. It was cool because he was apparently very popular when he was wrestling. He was a former IC champion, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Either IC or like ECW, European, something like a mid card kind of guy.
24/7, 365, 7-Eleven.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was pretty cool to see him. Again, not knowing a lot about him, and I guess apparently he wrestled Monday with Jeff Hardy in a tag team match. So that apparently had a lot of big hits. So again, it was cool to see him. I just don't know enough about him to be excited for it.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, are you? I mean,
no, I like the same way. I didn't really watch him that much.
Right.
I know who he is, and I know he always comes out with the apple, but that's really it.
Yeah.
Like you said, I was like, all right, that's cool. He's back. That's awesome, but that's really it.
He was in a WrestleMania ladder match, a Money in the Bank match, I think, right?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. I think with Drew McIntyre, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty cool that the Hurricane came back.
I would love to say I would agree, but he just does the same stuff every time he comes back. And it seems like he's getting bigger every time. And not bigger in a good way. He's getting bigger in the old midsection.
I was loving the double choke slam that did not work out.
And you sent me that picture because he did it to Stone Cold and Triple H.
Yep. Or if he tried to.
He tried to.
It's like he's got one, he's got two. No, that's it.
I love Hurricane. I think he was one of my favorite wrestlers watching because I loved his gimmick. I loved his Titantron like intro and everything. It's so funny, but like him coming back like every year or every other year to literally be in the match for 30 seconds. I wonder how much he gets paid for being there for like a couple seconds. Probably more than us.
Yeah, definitely more than we make from the podcast.
Oh yeah.
But, how long do you think he was in there for last night?
My tapioca pearls of wisdom are telling me 49 seconds.
Very close.
Really?
30 seconds. Yeah. Not good.
That's not even close.
Well, you weren't like 7.5 minutes.
That's true.
30 seconds and 42 seconds.
We're talking about the hurricane here.
Came in quick and left quick, like a hurricane.
Watch out. There's a hurricane coming through. Can't believe that outfit still fits him.
Barely. I gotta say, I was waiting for Diesel to come back.
Did he just have surgery? I'm pretty sure he just had eye surgery.
That's all right. He can still make his way through. Just to hear his theme music play and walk in and kick some people around.
Or in a whole AEW invasion.
Oh.
Probably never happen.
Yeah.
But one can dream.
Exactly.
One of the last things I think we should touch on, I think, is the performance from a young Damian Priest, another NXT guy.
Yes.
Very, very good wrestler. And he was number 14 last night, and he had a great performance. He had a lot of pretty good spots in the match. And I think he had a pretty major elimination. I can't remember who, though.
Got rid of two guys at once. Him and Bad Bunny are like super close.
Oh, yeah.
He got rid of Miz and Morrison, little double clothesline right over the top rope. Those two were done at the same time. He also got rid of Elias, which I was surprised with, and he got rid of Kane.
Oh, right.
So I feel like you get rid of Kane, that's like getting rid of 100 people, because in his 37-year career in the Rumble, he's gotten rid of 100 people.
So what does that bring Kane's total to now?
I don't know how many Kane got rid of. No, he got rid of two guys.
Okay.
Kane got rid of Dolph Ziggler, and he also got rid of Ricochet. So that's his two. As you're fact-checking that with Layla, I thought Damian Priest's entrance was really cool. He did his little bow and arrow, and then his whole name was lit up in flames.
Yeah.
So that might be a fire hazard at like the next few shows. At least last night it was cool. So Kane definitely has a lot of eliminations.
I'm looking that up right now.
Yep. Anthony's doing our little fact check with our
Well,
Keep
I'm
on the
I'm
back.
online with Layla right now, so she's sending me all the information.
That's fine.
But it's coming in pretty slow.
That's right. I'll probably find it before you do now. So Kane, I think he just had to show a quick little entrance, get in the ring for a little bit, and then you know, back to being mayor in Tennessee, right? Tennessee, Knoxville.
Bobby Lashley.
So
he's definitely
doing well. He gets to wrestle on the weekends, and then
go back to
being the mayor of Knoxville during the rest of the week, like a regular person.
Choke slamming. No, it doesn't really tell me that.
We gotta have this ready.
Yeah, this is
what happened?
This is unprofessional.
Layla! Meatloaf.
Where's
our meatloaf?
All right. Well, we all know that Kane extended his Royal Rumble records of appearances and eliminations as well.
So he eliminated 43 people going into last night, and now he's at 45.
And now
it does say it should be 44 because one of them was under Isaac Yankem, DDS.
I think I have an appointment with them in a couple of weeks.
Really? Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Hope you do the best.
Yep.
Well, just like Kane gets rid of his 45 people, I think we're going to get rid of each other. That we're done for today. We're going to move on. We'll see you guys back in a couple of days. I know, like that transition. We're going to work on those transitions, make it a little bit smoother, but we'll work with this for now. I think Anthony swallowed a few too many pearls. Hey, we'll see you guys in a couple of days for our handoff episode. We finished number 9. We have number 10 coming up.
Yeah, that's a milestone.
It is double digits, baby.
We're gonna make 10 episodes unless we get a phone call in which we're canceled. But I think picking up a new sponsor today really helped us out.
Should be good. Thank you, Bubble Tea.
And no, this didn't make me choke. You just make sure that when you drink one of these, you shake it up first. Because
Definitely.
We did not do that.
Nope, definitely not.
All right, thank you for watching. Chris,
like, subscribe, comment, do the usual few. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys soon.
Yes, have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good night.
And maybe a good morning.
A good morning. We'll see everybody on Thursday.